Hello there, everyone. This is Roberto Matthews with another tutorial for you. Um, I've been looking everywhere on the web on YouTube, and I noticed that when people do the overlay, the background overlays, they do not actually show you how to put text on them so that you can actually use it on your hero with some text. So I'm going to show you how to do that so that you can actually see your text and make it responsive. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to just go ahead and start with a wrapper div. I always like to start with a wrapper div, but it's not necessary. So I'm going to start with my wrapper div, and then we're going to create, let's create 3 different sections. So let's do section times 3, and inside there we're going to put an H2 with section 1, 2, and 3. And then next to that, or beside that, we're going to do a paragraph with some lorem ipsum, which has about 100 words. Okay, so now we have our website pretty much set up right there with some content. And then now the rest of this is going to be all styling. Okay, so let's go ahead and just set up everything here. Padding 0, margin 0, box sizing, border box. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take each section, each one of these sections, and we're going to do a little bit of formatting on the section. So we're going to do this, we're going to give it some padding, we're going to display flex and flex direction column, and then we're going to do text line justify, just because we have so little text. Okay, and then we're going to make the height of each one 100, the viewport height. And then since we have this flex here, we're going to say justify context center, align item center, and now we're all centered up. We're also going to do a little bit of formatting for the H1, H2. Now I don't have an H1 and H3 and H4, but this is just muscle memory, so that's why I do it like this. So margin bottom 10. Okay, so now we got some separation and we got each one of our sections here. So now that we have that all set up, what we're going to also do is give each part of this a background. So let's go ahead, section nth of type, and we're going to say 1, and then we have that right there. Okay, so let's just get some information in here. Let's say background image. To make things simple, let's just go ahead and say, let's go to our repository here and go to source.unsplash.com, and let's make these nice and big at 1280 by 720. And then we're gonna just say let's use a something about tree. So let's just do a tree. Okay, so now we got a tree. So now we have that tree there, and so now we're going to say background position center, and then we're going to say let's just go with that for now. Okay, so now let's just repeat this, copy, paste, section 2, section 3, we have all the same picture. So in order to fix that, we're going to change this index to 2 and this index to 3. And now we're pretty much set. Okay, so here's our situation. Well, this is a perfect situation where we see the background and we see the text, but we're having trouble being able to read the text. Now, normally we would probably do something like a text or a color white, and so we still have an issue right there. So basically the only way to fix this situation is to kind of give an overlay so that we can have this kind of pop out. And I'm going to just do one more thing here just because I can. The font family is going to be Verdana sans serif. Oops, serif. Okay, so now we have all that set up. Good. Now let's go ahead and work on how we're going to lift this up using an overlay. Okay, so the best way to do this that I've found, if there's a better way, or if you found a better way, please leave a comment below. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this position relative. Okay, so now the position is relative, and then we're going to take the section and everything that's under the section, so that includes any items that below the section, and we're going to make that position relative also, but we're going to change the z-index to 2 so that it's on top of everything. Okay, so now what we can do is, for this section, actually let's do something simpler first, and then I'll show you how you can make it a little bit more complicated. So we're going to take the section and go after it. We're going to say that our content is nothing, position absolute, left 0, top 0, width 100%, height 100%. Now the background is going to be black, and as you can see, we have our overlay, but we still have our words on top. So instead of having our overlay to be black, we could say that our overlay is RGBA 000.4. And now we can just basically lighten this up a bit by bringing it back like this. Now, I personally don't normally use black, so I'm going to show you how you can make each one of these a different one, which is not too difficult. So we're going to do section nth of type 1 after. So now the first one has an overlay, and so now we're going to do copy. Oh, and we forgot to do this. We got to make this z-index. We can make the z-index. The z-index is usually 0, which is why you see that it put the pictures on. The content on top. But just to be on the safe side, I'll put a z-index of 1. As you remember, our content below has a z-index of 2. Okay. So now we're going to copy all this, paste, paste, 2, then 3, and so now we can have, I don't normally like black, so I usually use blue. Oops, 255, and then we can lighten this up a bit, kind of like that, maybe a little bit more. There you go. And so you can do blue there, you can do red here, I'm sorry, green here, maybe a yellow. And so now you have a different color. Oh, of course that won't work, but you get the idea. So then over here we can do red, and of course that's for you to play around with. We can go all the way down to 3 right here, for example. So now there's your idea of how to get an overlay. Let me change this yellow because this is going to really bother me. Let's go ahead and make this, let's go back over here and make this color blue. Okay, so that's a little bit better. So you can see your colors, and you can actually see your content in front of your overlay. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. If you like what you saw here, please click like, and of course if you want any more tutorials like this, please leave a comment and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.